Hello, Ugandans, especially the supporters of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. My name is Mordecai Morisa, your brother and your friend. I was born in Bushenyi, raised in Uganda, and I live in these United States of America. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I usually do my commentaries using a bulletin that shows me, some sort of a script that shows me, oh, you need to talk about this. But tonight, no script. I want to talk to the NRM supporters, Museveni loyalists. Tell me, folks, what comes to your mind when you see some people dressed in T-shirts that bears a photo of Museveni beating up supporters of a different political camp, throwing stones at them? These folks, not even afraid, they show their faces, committing crimes. What comes to your mind? Do you feel disappointed, concerned? Since that incident happened in Chiruhura, I haven't seen not even a single person from the NRM, not on X platform or even on Facebook, saying, hey, I condemn that violence. I believe we shouldn't condone violence. Zero. Why? Is there some sort of a collective mobilization within the NRM outfit that says we shouldn't condemn violence? And if that's the case, aren't you guys living in a cult? I don't want to believe that's a cult. But how is it possible from members of parliament, cabinet ministers, supporters, and lapdogs, if you may, all decide to keep quiet when violence is being perpetrated by folks who support Museveni? And this is not a new phenomenon. I remember I was in Uganda when Olaxes Ismajaja Ichuli used his social media accounts to threaten violence, to kill Bobby Wine. Nobody came out and said, that is, I think, a bridge too far. You cannot do that. He was dressed in a T-shirt of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Zero. None.
Abo be mwakubye gulo mwakubye batono mubakube tujja kukuba Bobby Wine ojja kudde wakawo nga tolaba BBC tajja kujja gende nalufenya njagala balebe kuta bakone tiyagasa kuyingire otuke wabwana bo busubi ne kano kakazi akaina amannyo go kungulu akatuusi mbuno kagalafu kaledi kalinga ensonzi obo wonne kabutitire mwenna abayimbi epasi nkulaba tujja kugano yimba gwe epasi tujja kukona empi waikibenda tujja bakona empi mwenna bapapeti Batty Boys epasi waikibenda mwenna obuyimbi muli ba Batty Boy.
I know that threatens you. It disturbs you. You just can't believe what you just watched. Why do you guys always keep quiet when violence is being perpetrated by people who identify with you? I've condemned violence. Even in situations where some of the supporters, I don't want to call them supporters of Bobby Wine, but some folks within Busoga, when they were throwing stones at Alien Skinner, said, you shouldn't do that. Leave him. I don't care whether he opposes me or not, but you shouldn't do that to him. But why? Not even a single person is willing to be like, I think that's a bridge too far. We cannot do that. Now, let me bring you to a story. I believe it should concern you. John Chibalamah. Ladies and gentlemen, John Chibalamah was abducted in June 2019. The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Anabanj, admitted that yes, John Chibalamah was abducted by security operatives. It is being kept somewhere.
But we are fortunate that Chibalamah was traced. He was arrested recently in October in a place called Kakiri, and he's one of those that is claimed to have killed police officers in Chiboga, Wakiso, and other places.
Up to now, nobody knows the whereabouts of John Bosco Chibalamah. Shortly after his abduction, the National Unity Platform decided they were not going to tell his mom because they knew that probably the worst would happen. So they kept it as a secret. But time passed, and the mom was asking about her child, her son. They finally told her that your son was abducted. She immediately fainted and later on died. Now, she died before seeing her son. John Bosco Chibalamah, we don't know whether he's still alive or not. Now, his wife, who has been fighting for his rights, died recently, was found dead under abnormal circumstances, found dead in the bathroom. Does that concern you? Be like, okay, I'm not going to engage in conspiracy theories of thinking, oh, probably she was murdered and stuff like that. But why won't the government tell us about the whereabouts of John Bosco Chibalamah? Why? Tell me. I don't understand. How is this possible that not members of parliament, no, not cabinet ministers, no, not folks within the NRM, and even mere supporters? Like, is that how we've been desensitized? Actually, other folks engage, some folks within the NRM double down and triple down into what we call vice signaling. Now they start blaming Bobby Wine. He's the one who caused the abduction of John Bosco Chibalamah. Given, okay, we can blame Bobby Wine. Others actually engage into some sort of a blame game tactics. Who knows? He might have committed a crime. Given, I will take that at a face value. Okay, but there's a concept called due process. Can we handle them as they are supposed to be handled if we believe they are criminals? How is it possible that we see all these criminalities being committed, but folks within the regime won't say a thing? Are they happy? Is that a tacit endorsement of whatsoever that's going on, that's happening, the mayhem and injustices and violence meted onto their political opponents? Is it like, okay, I think they deserve it? And if that's the mindset you have, cry for our country, Uganda. It is abysmal. It is heartbreaking. It is disheartening. Come on. How is this even possible? All, as a collective, NRM folks, won't condemn the violence. And when you go to Parliament, you have two funny guys. One is Thomas Tayebwa and Anita Among. When you bring this issue on the floor of Parliament, they engage in some sort of jokes, light jokes and, gaslighting. Explain to me like a kindergartner. Am I taken too much by this? Or I'm just a thinking human being who is just wondering why you guys behave like this is normal? Because it shouldn't.